right, guys, we're just wrapping things up on the boat. Rob's finishing off the wiring for me because it was just way over my head. And then the last thing left to do is the bottom paint. So I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. And then we're going to do the bottom paint on this. But I realized that there's just a ton of other logistical stuff I want to have ready for when we take this boat up, because we're going to load it with a bunch of wood and a bunch of gear and stuff for camping out. So let's check out what else I picked up. Okay, so I'm quickly learning that there's just a ton of logistical stuff that is required when having an off-grid property, and things you take for granted, like having water and road access and all these sort of things, means you don't have to worry about fire suppression. But out of this property, there is no fire trucks ever coming if there was to be a fire, so you have to have your own fire suppression. So I picked this bad boy up at Princess Auto. It's a 2-inch Honda trash pump, I guess, or fire pump, and it's a full unit that comes with a dolly and the fire hose and the suction hose that you throw into the lake. So if there was, worst case scenario, a fire, we just roll this thing down to the lake, throw the suction hose in, fire the thing up, and we've got a fire hose that says shoots up to 85 feet. So it comes with a 50-foot hose. I bought another 50-foot hose so I can really reach up onto the property. So that's kind of like the first thing you want to make sure that you have in all situations, even when you're camping up there, is fire suppression. So I got to haul this thing up here, up to the property, as well as we want to set up some sort of a kitchen, outdoor kitchen area where we can cook, stuff like that. So I picked up a barbecue off of Facebook Marketplace, and now I just need to make like a wash station kind of cooking prep area. So check out what I got going for that. All right, this is another awesome score I got at Princess Auto. It was on sale for like 170 bucks, and it's a stainless steel table. So, you know, we don't have any shelter out there at the moment. I'm hoping to, build a little shed roof with maybe put some metal roofing on it. But in the meantime, everything's just going to be exposed to the elements. So I want something I'm not worried about, getting wrecked by the water and that sort of stuff. So why don't you build it out of wood? Well, right now, I'm pretty sure I would have had to pay more for just the materials with wood prices these days, and wood's not going to hold up to the elements nearly as good as stainless steel. I could leave this thing out year round, and I don't have to worry about rats chewing it or doing anything to it. So what I need to do, though, is I picked up this old stainless steel sink, and I want to cut it in to the top so that I can plumb a sink right into here. I've got a second table that will also offer, more space for prep and that sort of stuff. And then this will be kind of like the sink and dishes area. So before I peel all this plastic off of here, I want to mark out where I'm going to cut out for the sink and then put the sink in. And I've got some new drain assemblies because this thing was like all rotted out and the old drains were wrecked. So I picked up some new ones and put that together. So we're going to do a little plumbing and a little metal work today. Okay, so you can see the original drain that came out of here was all corroded. Probably was the original from like the 70s or whenever this sink was put in. So I bought these new assemblies, nice and shiny, because yeah, these pieces are supposed to be kind of fit together, and these had all fallen apart, and there's like holes ripped in there, so that's garbage. It's only about 30 bucks for these new ones. They've got the rubber seal in there, and they just drop right in. Then we put this cup in underneath, and then thread on the, then you thread that thing on, which puts pressure and kind of pinches the seal and seals it down, so you don't need any caulking or anything like that. And then you drop this little guy on there, and then that's the extension that your ABS will connect to, and that drops in there and screws onto the bottom. So let's become a plumber for a minute here. Just make sure you got that sealed there. Just gonna grab that with a wrench, tighten it. That is awesome. So I paid 25 bucks for the sink with the faucet. I had to replace the drains, which was like 35 bucks. So that's 60 bucks. And then I got this at Princess Auto for 170. So, you know, what am I into this thing for? 230. These things are awesome because they got these little grub screws on the inside, so you can adjust the height of the shelf here, so you can bring it right up underneath if you want to, you know, just store a few things, or you can stack it down low and pile up your pots and pans underneath. So I've got another one of these that's going to just be the prep table, and that should set us up pretty well with the barbecue for an outdoor kitchen. Obviously I got to plumb it all up, and that'll be fun once we get out there, but it's a great start. All right, let's see how much assembly is required with this pump here. I want to get it all set up because even though it might be easier to haul out there in a box, there's going to be packaging and cardboard and all that sort of stuff that I just have to haul back because we don't have a garbage truck service when you're off grid. So as little garbage and packaging as I can take out to the property, the better, right? Just less work coming back. So I'm going to put this thing together. All right, I'm actually pretty impressed with this thing. It's obviously got a Honda motor on it, so that's the most important part. You know, reliability and power. It comes with all the things you need. So you got the fire nozzle, which I just locked on right here so you don't lose it. I bought an extra 50-foot hose, so I've got 100 feet of hose. The suction line seems really, really beefy. Good, nice, solid aluminum fittings here. Just plastic on the inlet here, which is fine. The nice thing is the beach where the property is kind of like bigger gravel, so it won't get sucked in there like sand and stuff. So yeah, I'm really interested to try this thing out. The nice thing about it is it's got picture instructions on how to set it up. So, you know, if somebody that didn't know what they were doing all of a sudden had a fire, they could run this down to the water and just follow the instructions and be able to start and suppress the fire by themselves without any training, right? It's pretty straightforward. It shows you the steps in which order, you know, priming and starting the motor. It comes with this little jug here that's got a nice little metal cage that sits right on the thing. So you fill that up, keep that full with water, and once you connect the suction hose in, there's a screw cap right here that you just undo by hand pressure, and then you have to prime the hose, right? So this bucket, I'm assuming, is enough volume to prime that suction hose, so that when you start the pump, it's not sucking air, or the air is preventing the pump from getting going, right? You gotta prime all these things, right? So they've thought of it. They've got that's attached to the machine, which you know, allows you to get everything going, right? Just all in one unit. So we'll get this up to the property and test it out. Probably have to wait for another video before we test it. All right, guys, so there's one thing I'm learning, and that is that off-grid is really hard. I've been preparing and working for about 6 weeks now, and I still haven't even really got anything out to the property. I took my boys and my dad, and we went out there camping this last weekend, and that was tough. There is so much work to be done on this property. I brought my big chainsaw out there to fall some trees, and I couldn't start the thing, so I think the spark plug's gone on it or something, so I need to fix that. Test your tools before you go out to work on an off-grid property because, yeah, it can throw a wrench into your system real quick. But I got all the bottom paint for the boat, so I'm going to get that put on today. and then I have to get to work on building a shed, because the other thing I realized being out there is that hauling tools back and forth in a small boat is a real pain in the butt. And I'm glad I did not try to take that fire suppression unit out, because that would have just been the straw that broke the camel's back. So yeah, I'm learning quite quickly that my expectations, even though I have experience building remote sites, this is going to be a real challenge. But I'm up to it, and yeah, don't underestimate the amount of work it's going to take to make your dreams come true. And then more importantly, do not underestimate your ability to push through whatever comes your way, okay? So, paint the bottom of a boat is coming up, and then I got to build a little prefab 10 by 10 shed to be able to lock up all my tools and generator and leave them up there securely on the site. So, I had hoped that we were going to put this skiff in the water, which we are going to do, and I was going to take my family up and have a wonderful camping trip, but I realized that there's still a lot of work to be done, especially because my oldest son has special needs and has mobility issues. I need to do some more work on the property to get it ready for him to be able to be on site. So I think I'm going to have to call in the troops and do a shout out to all my local guys in the Makers Mob to see if anybody wants to join me for a little work weekend camp out. So if you're part of the Makers Mob, check our Facebook page. I'm going to be making a post there giving you guys information on when we're going to do a little work weekend, and we can just bring a bunch of dudes out with chainsaws and have a hell of a time. Till the next video, guys, summer out.